Okay, so the natural major scale, we're just going to keep everything with scale number 1 and start picking scale intervals, meaning starting 2 notes on different steps of the scale at the same time. For example, if I wanted to use step 1 and step 3, which is a third, and I'm going to just play thirds in scale number 1 in G, and I wanted to ad lib it or just play, I could skip around just playing the thirds on the various scale steps. So here we go. So that's thirds, and that can, of course, you can continue. Right, so those are small intervals. If I wanted bigger intervals, I could make it tenths or sixths. Like you hear a lot of country music, guys use sixths. That type of stuff. And that sixth sound is how the pedal steel guitar is tuned, so you get that sort of 60 sound. And so if you put thirds and sixths together, you can get so that's thirds and sixths, all the G major scale. Then you can connect them. That's connecting the intervals by moving the top note, but you can also move the bottom note. Okay, the steps in a major scale are very interesting. If I take step number 4 and step number 7, I get a tritone, and that always, a tritone is 6 equal intervals. We're talking about equal intervals, 6 equal intervals apart. So that's this sound. And that sound always wants to take you to the key. So if I know where the 4th step and the 7th step of a key of a scale is, those 2 intervals, if I play the 4 and the 7 together, they're going to take, they want to resolve. So you can hear the sound. All right, so a lot of Baroque music and 20th century music, too, almost everybody, jazz, all uses that tritone in different keys to connect. It sets up a dominant sound, so it wants to take you someplace. All right, so that sound, and actually, if like in the key of G, because we're in the G scale, G scale number 1. If I take the 7th and the 4th step and just play them in a row, I get, and each one of those is going to resolve. You hear how that naturally sounds like it wants to resolve. And so you can use that tritone to go to different tonal centers real easily, which, Blackbird of the Beatles does that, Okay, that's an example of how tritones work. So I just want you to know right now you can get real pretty sounds out of just scale number 1 and connecting the intervals together. So if you want to play just a quick thing about fingering, because this is a little more advanced. This is for the people that can't get enough out of the regular lesson. The way I practice thirds is I break my fingers up into sets, 2 and 2, or 2 and 3, or whatever on the right hand. So the right hand, and break up sets of the fingers on the left hand also. So you want to think in terms of teams in your fingers, just basically, rather than getting to all the techniques. But let's say it's tenths. So I got so it's teams on the right and teams on the left. Okay, thank you for this little extra tidbit here. I'm glad that you're interested enough to pay attention to some of this stuff. Just practice playing your scale number 1. Try to play it in 2 intervals. Try thinking about teams. We'll get into this a lot more in the future, but this is just to kind of whet your appetite. Okay, thanks a lot.